Snoop Dogg walks into his own dealership in disguise, only to be underestimated by his own staff. Watch the shocking twist that teaches a lesson in respect. Like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on this eye-opening encounter. Snoop Dogg pulled into the parking lot of Luxury Motors, the flagship dealership he had recently acquired in the bustling city of Sunville. The heat shimmered off the sleek luxury vehicles parked out front, their glossy finishes practically glowing under the sun. He parked his modest SUV in an unmarked spot at the back and stepped out, taking a moment to scan the dealership's facade. He wasn't dressed for attention, quite the opposite. A simple gray hoodie, slightly worn jeans, and sneakers were his uniform for the day. His decision to dress casually was deliberate. He wanted to see the dealership's true colors, to experience how it operated when no one knew the new boss was watching. As he walked toward the entrance, he noticed a small group of employees inside chatting near the front desk. The faint hum of laughter and casual conversation carried through the glass doors. Snoop opened the door and stepped inside. The air-conditioned showroom was a stark contrast to the heat outside, filled with the faint scent of leather and fresh wax. Rows of pristine cars gleamed under the bright overhead lights. The chatter quieted as he walked in. Snoop caught the brief glances exchanged between the employees, their eyes flicking to his hoodie and sneakers. He felt the subtle shift in energy, the kind that spoke louder than words. But he wasn't here to make assumptions. He was here to observe. Then from across the showroom she appeared, Elena. Elena was a middle-aged woman with sharp features and an even sharper gaze. Her tailored blazer and polished heels spoke of authority, the clipboard tucked under her arm adding an air of efficiency. She approached with purpose, her heels clicking against the polished floor. Her expression was polite at first glance, but there was a tightness in her smile that didn't escape Snoop's notice. "Excuse me," Elena began, her voice cool and clipped. "Can I help you with something?" Snoop smiled, his demeanor calm. "Just here to look around," he said casually, gesturing towards the cars. Elena's eyes narrowed, scanning him from head to toe, her polite mask slipping ever so slightly, replaced by something less welcome. "Are you shopping for a car?" she asked, her tone carrying an edge of doubt. Snoop nodded, still smiling. "Something like that?" Elena's lips pursed. "Well, we cater to a very specific clientele here. Most of our inventory requires pre-qualification. Perhaps I could recommend—" Before she could finish, another employee called out, "Hey, Elena, the delivery guy is here." Her attention wavered for a moment, but her gaze snapped back to Snoop as if ensuring he wouldn't wander too far. Snoop raised an eyebrow but kept his tone light. "You're assuming I'm not qualified?" The question seemed to catch her off guard, but only briefly. She recovered quickly, her posture stiffening. "I'm just trying to save you some time," she replied with a forced smile. "These vehicles start at 6 figures. Maybe I can direct you to—" Snoop's expression remained steady, though he noted her choice of words internally. His calm composure was unshaken, but the subtle sting of her assumptions was undeniable. The moment lingered, tension hanging in the air as Elena stared at him expectantly. Snoop glanced around the showroom, pretending to admire one of the nearby cars, a sleek silver coupe with an aggressive design. His fingers brushed the door handle and he glanced back at Elena. "Nice car," he said simply. Her brows furrowed slightly, but she forced another smile. "It is. Perhaps when you're ready to make a serious inquiry, we can set up an appointment. For now, I'll have to ask you not to touch the vehicles." Snoop stood there for a moment, considering her words before stepping back from the car. He nodded once, hands in his pockets, and gestured for her to continue. "All right, let's hear it. What would you recommend for someone like me?" Elena blinked, surprised by the directness of his question. But before she could respond,